When Gorbachev removed that threat, the first cracks appeared. In Hungary, new leaders began to dismantle the old political system, even allowing people to take down sections of the Iron Curtain. In Poland, Solidarity, whose popular support had never been destroyed, forced the government to hold free elections. They swept to power. But a cluster of old-style regimes from Romania to East Germany still seemed firmly in charge. In Berlin, the East German leadership celebrated 40 years of communism as if nothing had changed. Most East Germans, like Barbara Reinke, knew differently.
People were quieter. Previously, you would always celebrate the 7th of October, and you'd be forced to be cheerful. But that day, there was something in the air.
The crowds chanted for the visiting Gorbachev, not for their own die-hard leaders.
Gorbachev was our great hope. Even down here in my street, someone had sprayed Gorbachev on the wall. We had such hopes of him.
Just a couple of blocks from the official pageantry, a counter-demonstration was broken up by the police.
In the Schönhauser Allee, people were being beaten. Plainclothes police took truncheons out of their pockets and beat up those youngsters. I thought, finally, I can do something. I can stand up and support these people. I don't have to sit around at home. Now I can do something.
Despite the police tactics that night, the demonstration spread. People who for years had passively accepted the status quo felt brave enough to take a stand. And with the opposition swelling, the party was driven into making hurried concessions.
Just after 7 p.m., I was having my dinner in our canteen. We had a black and white television, and I watched the press conference on it.
The party had decided to let people travel to the West, but the spokesman failed to announce that the visas needed would not be issued until the next morning.
Das tritt nach meiner Kenntnis ist das sofort. Unverzüglich.
When he turned the bit of paper and said something like, as I understand it, immediately, I thought, immediately? That's impossible. He's talking nonsense.
Here at home, I screamed so loud, even though I was all alone. I screamed, the wall is open.
As thousands made their way to the west, Barbara Reinke set out for the Brandenburg Gate. On a night of confusion, she found herself blocked by a line of border guards.
Ich bitte Sie. An wen denn? Wer ist zuständig, bitte? Zeigen Sie mir den, wenn ich ihn kann. Ja, wissen Sie, wie lange wir gewartet haben?
I became terribly frightened and thought they'd tricked us again.
Ich kann nicht mehr! Ich habe mir einmal in meinem Leben gewünscht, durch dieses Brandenburger Tor zu gehen. Und zwar in den anderen Teil zu gucken. Ich war noch nie da drüben. Ich fühlte mich wirklich mit ihm als ein Block stehen.
I felt he was a block. I thought, never again will someone say, you can't go through here. You're not allowed to go there. You're not allowed to do that. No more. I'm going through.
Later that night, Barbara achieved her ambition. Both East and West Berlin exploded in joy.
Das war für mich so unfassbar. Ich muss es ehrlich sagen, mein Mann hatte keine Lust mehr noch mitzukommen. Ich sage, lass uns einmal an so einem historischen Tag einmal mit dabei sein.
Sie hat mich angerufen, nach dem... Das ist ein
wunderschöner Tag.
We talked later that night. Someone said, that's it. That's the end of the GDR.
Die Verabschiedung der DDR.
A Czech underground cartoon celebrated the revolutions. Poles, Hungarians, and East Germans had broken free. Now the Czechs tried to join them. Inspired by dissident playwright Václav Havel, huge crowds took over the capital every evening.
Zdravím jménem občanského fóra i všechny občany, kteří nejsou zde na pražském Václavském náměstí a sledují nás prostřednictvím televize.
After a chance meeting with Havel, the factory worker Petr Miller became the workers' representative in negotiations with the government.
We were amazed at the reaction of our opponents at meetings. Here was someone who had all that power at his disposal and could control everything. Suddenly this man was sitting opposite you. He was very small, and he didn't have an idea.
The Czech party leadership, without the threat of the Red Army to back them up, was floundering.
Sometimes even Havel didn't know what to do. When we got back, we'd locked the door and burst into hysterical laughter.
In 2 weeks, 40 years of communist rule was swept away.
Československá televize oznámila, že všichni členové předsednictva UVKSČ dávají své funkce k dispozici.
It was called the Velvet Revolution. But in Romania, nothing had changed. That winter, life was made up of desperate shortages, with daily power cuts and temperatures well below freezing. In the same week as the revolution in Prague, Nicolae Ceausescu held a party congress. The faithful greeted him as they always did, and he rewarded them with a 6-hour speech.
The Communist Party and all the people of Romania are the same.
They responded with 67 standing ovations. No mention was made of the fall of the Berlin Wall. The Romanian press had never even reported it.
There was no information about what was going on in Eastern Europe. But here in Timișoara, we had a trump card. Through Yugoslav TV, we had news about the outside world.
Emboldened by what they knew had happened in Berlin and Prague, the people of Timișoara in western Romania were the first to dare to protest. Ian Savu, who worked in a local soap factory, found himself leading a rebellion.
For the first time in my life, I felt free. All over the place were the signs of the communist regime. Long live the Communist Party. Long live Comrade Ceausescu, the beloved leader. That day, we destroyed all those symbols of the party and Ceausescu.
Thousands gathered in the main square.